Welcome to Talent Blazers. I'm here with McLeod from Allianz, Regional Employer Branding for Asia Pacific. Cara, welcome to Talent Blazers.
Thanks a lot, David, and thanks for the opportunity to chat with you today.
Well, Allianz are a powerhouse insurance company. For those who don't know who Allianz is, could you share a little bit about who Allianz are?
Yeah, sure. Look, we're one of the largest general insurers globally. We've got an incredible history, over 130 years. We've got headquarters in Munich. And I guess, look, in Australia, we're all about providing people with the confidence so they can live their best lives. So we have products in everything you can imagine, from health to life insurance, CTP, car, motor. I think my favourite is the fact that we actually also have croc insurance for those who are wanting to have some confidence about travelling to the Northern Territory and a bit wary of the crocodiles up there. We've even got insurance for just in case you come across a crocodile.
And your role within Allianz?
Yeah, look, I've been with Allianz for about 18 months now. So I have a 50-50 role. So I spend half my time working with about 8 or 9 different countries across Asia. And I have a very hands-on role here in Australia, implementing and executing.
And you've moved to video. Why is video forming part of the strategy within employer branding?
Look, it's a no-brainer for me, David. I'm hugely passionate and almost a broken record when it comes to video. I think, look, I recently read, and this articulates it really well for me, that a video needs to be the holy grail of recruiting, and I couldn't believe in that more, or attest to it. But I think for me, coming into Allianz and what I saw kind of a year and a half ago, 2 years, was the fact that not only was video really being the #1 driver of internet traffic, search engine optimization, all those good things with regards to, your analytics, but it's all about understanding that YouTube was being used as a search engine in exactly the same way that we're seeing the likes of your Google or your Edge or whatever you're using as your Internet Explorer. And I wanted to ensure that we had a presence when candidates were searching and they're on those platforms, that our content was coming up.
And we were just talking a little offline. You've built a video series. What's been the inspiration behind building the video series?
Yeah, look, it's a bit of a pet project for me. I wanted to kind of trial and see what was going to work, what wasn't going to work. And the theme around it was Humans of Allianz. I really wanted to give candidates an opportunity to get to know us, to really think about more about who am I going to be working with, who are the people behind the brand, behind the insurance, behind the product, and less about, the day-to-day and the what we do, which tends to typically be your day in your life stories. This was very much carved out to be all about shining a light on people, who we are as individuals first, so that I thought it would give a great opportunity for people to get to know us on a very different level.
And how have you made it easy for people to opt into the video series?
Yeah, look, that was a key driver when we were thinking about how we were going to put this together. And it came down to choice. So we had a number of different themes or scenarios that our people could look into and think about, look, what's going to work for me, what's not going to work for me, what do I feel comfortable sharing, because it was quite personal content. But I also wanted them to have fun. I wanted them to, really put their own personality and spiel on it. And some of the ideas really allowed them to kind of find out a bit more about themselves as well.
Can you give us a few examples of a few of the ideas that people have answered questions to be part of the series?
I'm smiling out loud here because one of them, which was my favorite, I just thought this isn't going to work. And then I was sitting around and we were chatting with some of my colleagues in HR, and someone mentioned this idea of spirit animal, and it was quite funny because that was one of our ideas. And I thought straight away, do you know what? It's not about what I think is going to work. It's what others in the organization like and connect with. So one of the ideas was share your spirit animal, and you go through a little quiz online, you find out about what it means, and then you talk about, well, how do you see your spirit animal coming to life in your day-to-day? Other examples were, tell us about some of your parts. I'm kind of one part wannabe master chef, one part soccer mom, and then I'm one part employer branding lead. So, bring a little bit about your personal life, whatever you like to share to help people understand a little bit more about you, and how you live your life outside of work, and also how you're bringing a lot of that to who you are and what your role is. So there are a couple of the ideas.
Yeah, I really love it. Has the video series improved the candidate experience or helped to distill any myths of what it's like to work at an insurance company?
Oh, look, we've got a lot of myths when it comes to working in insurance. I don't know that anyone really wakes up and thinks, right, I'm going to go and work for an insurance company. So like I said, I really wanted to point people in the direction of thinking about who we are as individuals, how they can connect with us, let personality shine through. So for me, it was really about wanting people to see that, you know, the great people, the great talent that sit behind the company, and really build a connection on a very personal level. Again, it's more about rapport and giving people a sense of, you know, culture through the lens of very much who it is that I'm going to be working with day to day.
Well, thanks for sharing your story. I really appreciate you tapping into the video series that you've created. Thanks for joining me on Talent Places.
My pleasure. Thanks very much.